What's going on, guys? It's the Hammered Canadian here. This is that awesome belt grinder we got for the shop. It's an import model. It's a 2x82, but we're going to modify it to a 2x72. This was bought and paid for by me and all the people that supported my artwork. I mean, thank you very much, guys. A lot of these tools in my shop and stuff are paid for by the people that support my artwork. I put all my money I can back into the place just so I can do more and more. And this time I finally got an awesome belt grinder. I was using this one here for literally 3 years. It's one of those Mastercraft ones. It worked excellent, except you couldn't do anything really technical with it. It had no variable speed, and it wasn't so great. But it was awesome for what I had, and you know, it lasted for 3 years, and I really beat the crap out of it. But anyway, we upgraded, and this is what we got now. It's technically a 2x82, super easy to modify. It comes with 3 attachments for the front, 11.5-inch rubber contact wheel, flat Platon, and a small little bevel. I don't know what you call them. I'm sure they have a name for them. Roller wheels or contact wheels. They're replaceable. You put different sizes in and you can get bigger bevel cuts. I'm sure somebody can help me out there, but you know, I'm high as a kite like always. So anyway, we'll get to ripping this thing apart. I did end up paying $1,000 for it. Luckily, my son came down. I had paid $1,500 for it. My son came down. We were looking through the listings once again, just because we were showing him the differences between the models. Him and I were looking at them. And this one appeared on Prime, and it was $900 delivered. With taxes, it came up to like $1,170. That's literally a fraction of the price of a professional one. They literally go for anywhere from $3,000 up to $5,000. At least that's Canadian prices. I don't know what you Americans pay, but probably less than us by far. Still, they're very pricey units. They're pretty professional units. And these import models, from what I've read online, they're not that bad. So let's get at it and let's open it up, see what we got in here. This will be pretty exciting. It's pretty big. Like I said, it's about, I'd say it's a good 170 pounds or so. We'll start by opening these tabs up. In fact, right behind me, I just cleared a spot out for it where the old one was. Right back here. Added a little light and threw a spot here. Hopefully the VFD will fit there. These come with what they call a very variable frequency drive. That adjusts the speed of the motor. And this is a 110 unit because I'm cheap and I don't want to run 220 in my shop. In fact, this is a 220 110 mil, and I've got it set up for 110. It works just fine. It does everything I need. So that's pretty awesome. But this will be a great addition, and hopefully I get a lot of years out of this. We'll pop all these metal tabs. I will say the box is very secure looking, and luckily I lucked out and there's no parts sticking out the side of it. I may have to speed this up if I take too long opening it, but we'll see. I'll crack her open and see if we can lift up on this thing. Tab. Just tear it open if nothing else works right. That one's because it's lipped over. Woohoo! We did it. Just sucker. I'll delete that part. Unfortunately, I swear like a sailor. So, we'll bleep that part out. Anyway. So, how does it look inside? Not sure if you can see this. Try and tip it your way. Looks pretty secure. Actually, this one looks really secure compared to what I've seen online on the instructional videos on there. This has a huge contact wheel. That's massive. That thing is so massive. That's awesome. Now, unfortunately, I'd love to buy a professional one, but, you know, money permits what I can get. I'm not sponsored or anything, so unfortunately, there's no way I'm going to get myself a $3,000 to $5,000 one for quite some time. So I hope this one will last me a few years. Holy, it's all put together already. It's inside this box. I'm going to see about popping the box out, or, yeah, you know what? It's not even attached to the bottom of the box, which is quite amazing. They didn't screw it down or anything. So, move the box over. I'll move it back here so you can see it. Look in there and try not to pull my shoulder out. Yeah, I did drop something there. Well, that ain't too bad looking. I believe that might be one of the units for it. Here's, looks like the flat Platon. Now, I saw in one video, they actually had an extra arm on each piece, but on this one it looks like they only sent you with one arm, and you put each piece on it, which kind of sucks. But just a quick run to the metal store and some quick milling, and I'll make a new arm for each piece if I have to. Now, this may be that funny unit that's stuck with these things. It's some kind of frequency converter on its own. I believe it's some kind of phase converter or something. And yeah, and there's the small front wheels are right here. So on this model, you actually, there's a big arm on here, and it's got a hole through the side, and each of the attachments stick in there, and then you gotta tighten it down each time. I'll show you them as soon as I get it all hooked up. Comes with a couple extra belts. Looks like either the piece you need for the arm or an extra one. And let's see what's in here. Let's try and move this stuff out of the way. We'll actually put this back up here. Open these one at a time. Yep, just like I thought. It's got a, it calls it power transformer, 110 to 220. Technically, the motor they put on here is like the motor that's on here. It's a 3-phase motor, I believe, and you can actually run them at 110. You just have to wire them differently. So what they do is they change the wiring to not technically run at 110. It does, but it doesn't. They use that to divert the electricity some way. I'm not really that smart because I'm, you know, again, always high. But then it goes to the VFD, which does a 3-phase into it, allows you to adjust the speed. At one time, I was able to use my brain. This thing's pretty heavy. It looks pretty nice. It doesn't look cheap. It looks very, I'm always sketchy with these types of knobs, though, you know. I'm always sketchy with import bolts and threads, so sometimes those are usually good to replace. Now it's got a nice looking VFD in it. I'll try and pull this out so you can see it. Everything's packaged really awesome in this, I have to say. I have seen a few of them, and they literally are just floating around inside all the parts, and everything in here has extra foam inside the power transformer, extra foam in this VFD. A lot of protection. In fact, it doesn't look too bad other than the typical import stuff you see. It's not covered in a horrible smelling grease. That kind of smell burnout. That's funny, but that's electronics for you, I guess. Let's put this up on the table. This is where it's going to go. Yeah, that one got me in there. It is a little heavy. I'm a little guy. I a funny setup here, but this is all I got. So they'll get mounted and leveled right there. We'll put the VFD right here. Mount the VFD here in a minute. Level this out, secure this to the actual base here. It's got some mounts underneath it. I think just take them right off. This big, huge contact wheel. See about pulling this out. Again, plenty of packaging. You can see that's a nice looking wheel. Seems to roll. I mean, it doesn't seem to roll a long time, but it's nice. It's smooth seeming. It's got extra holes here, and that's when you put the Platon on, or the wheels, the smaller wheels. That's not too bad. It's really heavy. It's a solid piece of steel here. You can see it's not hollow or nothing. So this piece alone is probably a good, I'd say 35, 40 pounds. Probably at least 35 pounds. Nice. Slides right in. It's adjustable. Now to put 2x72 belts on, you have to change the angle of this thing, I believe, the motor. But I'm gonna do a couple things, and it'll be running them in no time. Here, like I said, I'll pause the video, take it apart. The bottom, there's some feet on the bottom that look like they were supposed to be. Yeah, I believe they're secured to the bottom of the box. They just ripped right out. So I guess that doesn't matter, but we'll take them off so it fits level on my table there. And of course I'm struggling. I got knives all over the place, but I'm sitting here struggling, ripping up stupid foam bubble wrap. Well, that was loud. Well, that was awesome. So it looks like there's a broken piece here. So I'm gonna, oh, right there, right on the front. Sitting in there broken. Good thing they gave me an extra, right? Yeah. Not much of a complainer, so that doesn't really matter. But there's your Platon. Oh, wow. Well, this one's definitely took a little bit of a beating. They have what looks to be some kind of a graphite. You can see, hopefully I can get this on here and we're still recording. Yep, we are. And you can see there's like a graphite surface on this Platon here. And it looks like one of these pieces or something must have been jarring into it. Definitely it's destroyed there. I'll just sand it down and probably still use it, but you know, I was going to replace it with a glass Platon anyway. Technically, I don't think this would really be that great. I'd probably use a piece of glass, but it's not a bad modification. And this is still high quality. You can see that's really thick, like half-inch thick steel there. It's pretty awesome. So it is pretty, well, for being import, pretty good quality. The packaging was awesome. There was a problem here and there, which wasn't, it's nothing major. I probably won't even complain about it, honestly. The power transformer, these are kind of a silly thing, but I kind of understand how these things work a bit, and this is what's required to actually cut your 110 motor into, well, plugging it into 110 and allowing you to variably change the speed. And that's why they use the big 220 motors in them, because 110 is only single phase. This being three phase, it gives them more room to be able to adjust that motor speed. I'll hook it all up and I'll turn the video back on because this will take me a few minutes. I'm just going to screw in the VFD, put the power transformer over there, we'll grab the belts and do all that as soon as I get this. So awesome. Pretty awesome so far. So now that that's all mounted, this isn't fully mounted yet because I want to find out where it best goes. This piece is the only real piece I found broken. What I did find is bottom of the box on the bottom of it, some of the box, and you'll see here from the box, if you can see that, it's really thin and the bottom's the same thickness. So Vevor, I guess that's how you pronounce your name, Vevor. They're like every single item online right now on the marketplace. You need to put a stronger, thicker bottom on your box, and that would have solved all the problems here. If it was double the thickness, it probably wouldn't have ripped off and flew across and broke the Platon and the bolt. So anyway, that said, it seems to run really nice. It seems to run really smooth. There is a wire, it looks like a ground wire that's just laying here loose. I'm going to ground that to the frame. It does run without it, but obviously it should be attached. The power transformer you're going to want close to the unit because honestly it's your on and off switch, and once this is on, this flashes, the drive kicks in, you turn it on and stop to stop it. You don't want to program this. Watching online videos, don't touch any of that stuff. I wouldn't even bother with it. It's just run and stop. This knob here adjusts the speed. It seems to run extremely smooth. We're going to put a belt on. Now the belts that I did get with it, they're pretty marred up. It looks like they got beat up too. So I don't think they'll last long. In fact, most of the people say these just fly apart. Called Little Sun. I don't know if I'm going to really be too trustworthy, but we'll put one on and see if it flies off or if it lasts. Maybe it'll last until the new belts come in the mail. But this is the size of the belts, the length of them. They're pretty long. 2x72s are just about that much shorter. Not too much shorter. Just a couple inches, 10 inches shorter. The belts I was running that are up here, I'll see if I can pull one out quickly. And the big difference, these are 4x36 inch belts, and you can see the difference in them. These are really hard to work around when you're doing anything. The Platon that the rest that I had on there was really crappy, and the Platon behind I had to cut up on that thing so I could get corners around. It was really annoying. There was no variable speed. So this is going to be a huge upgrade, even though it's an import. It's a huge upgrade. So let's try and get this thing put on. First we'll throw this belt on here. See if I can manage out how to do this. Pretty sure I understand how. Line it up nicely. Push down that. Give it a little bit extra room. Tracking fixed. Up here is a tracking knob, so if you've used a lot of belt sanders, you'll know that you gotta fix the tracking on them. I don't really know which way to go. Yeah, right there. Let's see if it's gonna fly off. Yeah, I will. And with these, here, we'll turn it on and see. So run, green, obviously. Awesome thing about the variable speed when you're tracking it, unlike those ones, they don't really have much of a problem tracking, but you can run it at a low speed to make sure that tracking is kind of on there. This one don't look too bad. Hopefully it don't fly off and hit me in the face. I'm being a little too trusting there. And that's at 10. It goes up to 50. We'll replace this guy in here. did a great one here. Looks like most of the screws in this unit, the bolts, are all a larger thread, and the one bolt in here that's broke is a smaller one. And even the housing of the actual clamp is smaller. So what I'll have to do is take this apart, put this in here, or build a new one. Maybe just mill one quickly for it, so we have a new clamp. It does seem to be running nice and smoothly. It's awesome that I can run it slow like that. That's really nice. We'll see about turning it up, see if it blows apart on us. Maybe put that a little lower so it doesn't hit me in the face. Seems to be tracking pretty nicely. These things scream compared to what I'm used to. These things scream. So it's running pretty good. It's running really nice and smooth. Hopefully the belt doesn't just fly off on us and hit me in the face. I would have to say I'm pretty happy about this purchase, if you can still hear me. It's amazing. In fact, yeah, you can just turn it right down there. Barely running. That's going to be awesome. In the line of sanding and belt grinding, for me, it's going to be a game changer. It's awesome. And again, I can't thank all you guys enough that supported my artwork. That's the only reason I got this thing. And Vevor, you got to step up your game on the packaging, because the packaging was awesome, but the bottom panel on this is paper thin. It's literally the same thickness as the rest of this package, and it was sufficient on the outside with all the bubble wrap and foam they had, but or you had, but you have to put a little bit more into the bottom, because the unit itself was ripped out of the bottom, and I've seen a couple videos and it's pretty much the same thing, so that part of it has to be fixed. Other than that, the belts, the Platon, and one of the bolts came broken, and in fact I didn't even open the small Platon yet, so let's open that up and see what that looks like. This one is really awesome for doing small little bevels, and it's actually the way they make these, and genuinely, well, this one is as well, they're made so they're replaceable, and you can put all different size wheels in. Now, whether or not they all fit each other is a guess, and you might have to buy a whole new front end, but I could probably buy another set of these wheels, modify them a bit, and use them in this front end. So you put this front end on here, and you stick whatever wheel size that you want, and you can buy kits that have all different wheels, like they go so small and all the way up. And this is an awesome upgrade. It's alone. This is your flat Platon, and the flat Platon goes right here, and you have a nice flat surface that when you put your work table up to, you can like really work it. Or if you want to do knives, I'd freestyle it right across there. I wouldn't use any type of jig. And then these wheels, these large rubber contact wheels, these are fully replaceable with all different sizes. And these help you get different bevels as well, so it's pretty awesome. And it's pretty awesome that this this really low-cost import kit came with all of them, because honestly, to get all that stuff is really expensive when you buy a nice one. This one has something all over it. I just noticed that, something gross, but oh well. It's probably just some kind of toxic chemical, you know. It is import. Anywho, yeah, so I'd have to say, overall, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty happy. I think it's a good purchase. I hope it lasts for a long time. Unfortunately, it is an import one, and I'd really love to have like an awesome high quality, like handmade or, you know, North American belt grinder, but also I just can't afford it right now. So for now, we'll make do with this one, and hopefully we make a lot of Cool crap, handmade. Yeah, because I can't even say that. Awesome.